So we are in Bluebeam and we're going to demonstrate how to copy and paste and edit text in a text box for a Bluebeam text box. So in in another video where I showed you how to create a PDF from scratch, um, some of these have been started. Chapters 1 through 6 are finished. They've been text has been copied, cut, and pasted and edited in that uh, in those PDFs. So I'm working on the next batch, and I thought I would demonstrate how I do that copy, cut, and pasting and editing. So um, originally, what we did was we created from scratch 2-page documents of with the title, chapter 5, numbered all the way to chapter 18. Just kept copying. Once you had an original one made, you just copied that the rest of these times. So these are all blank. So I'm going to open them up. They're just named now. They're blank 2-sheet sections, and we're going to be filling them in. So you can right click on them, and the ones that are checked will respond to the commands. We're going to open all 4 of those. And they'll open up automatically in Bluebeam because Bluebeam should be set as your default browser. And so up at the top, you will notice the chapters pop up, and these are tabs at the top of the screen. You can see, so each one is an individual PDF open. And over here on the left side is the section where your thumbnails exist, so you can see that it's 2 blank pages, and they're all 2 blank pages, and they're a little bit out of order, right? Chapter 9 is not supposed to come after chapter 8, it's supposed to be in between chapter 10, and chapter 7 is way at the end, so we'll bring it to the front. Just click, drag, and hold. Notice when I click it, it activates that page, that tab, but I can click and hold the tab and drag it. And I can pull it away and make it its own window, or I can drag it and put it back with the other group and just switch it around. So here I want it at the end. But you can see where chapter 7 was. It was over here at the end. See how that arrow popped up? It's showing that it's behind it. There's an arrow showing between those two. So I can move it to the front. And now there's 7, 8, 9, and 10 of my chapters. Now let's go and grab our content from Canvas. And you can see this has already been highlighted text, so I'll just right click on that, copy it, and then all I have to do is just close this page and go back to chapter 7, and then right click on the page and hit paste, and whatever text you captured will be captured in this text box. Now you can see it's hanging off the top of the page. It's a text box, so you can just grab it and drag it and move it around. You see, I double click and hold my left mouse button, and then I can move my trackball or move my mouse, and it'll scroll in and out. And then I'm going to activate the box, and those lights pop up around the outside perimeter of the text box. Now I'm just going to adjust the size of the text box to fit on one page. Then I'm going to click outside of the box. It deactivate it. And now I'm going to double click inside the box to try to not move the box around. I want to get inside it with the text. So I double clicked and it highlighted it. See, there's a flashing cursor, and you can see by where it says Y that sorry about that. Double click inside, and I have a text, a flashing cursor inside. So let's just number these. I just click where I want my cursor to where I want to do my text and type. And it will, like a Word document, it'll follow the same font and color. So as you can see, I have the text entered all in. They're numbered, and I just adjusted the spacing a little bit. There's one space between each question. Notice I've got some words that it'll spell check. So it doesn't recognize countertops as one word, so we'll just say add it to the dictionary. Right click on it. Subtrade as well, we'll add that to the dictionary. It's spelled correctly. So we can make those squiggly lines go away. And we are on the folder Chapter 7, and these are all the Chapter 7 questions. We'll go ahead and hit File and Save, or we could have just pressed look for the saved icon right there. It's not highlighted because it's not standing out because it doesn't need to be saved. But if we were to make a change to it, then it would. Okay, now that we've done that, notice if I click on the thumbnail, it'll take us to the blank page. I'll zoom out. You can see there's a filled in page in it. Not all of those questions are going to fit on 2 pages when they're filled out. And we're going to add spaces in between them so that it's like a form that can get filled out later. So what I'm going to do is we're going to grab half of the questions. And so let's zoom in. Pan up to where we want. We're going to grab half the questions. I would say starting at, we'll grab it starting at 6. So double click and see 6 got highlighted, so it's grabbing it. And I can just hold the shift button down and then use my arrow keys and see it highlight. So I can go, I'm using the right arrow key, and I can go down. I can just go down the page and it'll just highlight everything. I'm going to grab my mouse and scroll my wheel to move the screen a little bit, and then continue. I never let go of the shift button. And now I let go when they're all highlighted, and I right click on any colored or shaded area that got highlighted, and I cut. Now that I've cut it, I'll come back out. Now see, there's that text box. We'll leave that text box there because we know it fits on a page. And then we're going to right click on our new blank page and hit paste, and there is a new text box. And what we're going to do, notice that the text box has these, these lights, like airport lights that go around the side of the box. You can grab them and stretch to the left, to the right, up, and down. and you can scroll to the page there. See that it kind of hangs off the bottom of the page. So see, so that one I'm going to grab it and then click outside, and then I click inside and I'll bring it down. I guess I could bring it up too. See, it raised it from the bottom. So you don't want it to be too long hanging off the page, because then it's hard to activate. Anything that is not on the white paper will not be seen. It'll be off the page. So if your text runs off the page, so will that. Now that that's done, you can see at the top of my tab, I've got a little star at the end of my file name. The star indicates that I had edited and made changes to the file, and it hasn't been saved. So I make a few changes, and then I go at the top, and look, there is the save button. That's an icon for one of those old floppies. Click on it. And now let's do some spacing. I'm going to put a space after each of these, and then between these questions I'm going to add about 5 to 7 spaces, just to have enough room for whatever questions. And sometimes you might read a question and say, I'm going to need more space. Then you do it. I'm just hitting enter in the space bar. When you hit enter, it goes to the next page. Next line, pardon me. I'm going to go ahead and add one more line in each. So they're about evenly spaced. Hit escape, get out of it, and then scroll down to the next text box, double click inside, and it went right where I wanted to, the flashing cursor, because it kind of knows what I'm doing. So I hit enter. See, I'm already used up. When the text starts to push, the box will grow bigger when the text box pushes. I want one space after these. Might want to have double space. And then I'm going to push them in. I'm just moving my cursor where I want it with my mouse, and with my other hand I'm hitting the tab bar on the space bar, not the tab bar. Tab doesn't work in this. It's not really it's not Microsoft, like it's not Microsoft Word. Okay, so now that document is kind of arranged the way we want it. That's arranged the way we want it, you know, in its layout. I did want some spaces here. What does that do to the bottom page? Not bad. I'll just take away a space here. If I want, I can grab that box and There's a little more room on the paper and I can move the blue box. The blue box or the line is going to print on the document. I can, over here at the top of the screen, you'll see that it has, at the top, this is the editing features or toolbar specifically for that text box. So I can control my fonts, my font size, I can auto size text, and I can change the color of the text and also the style. So in the style, I can do left align, right align. I can make it align to the top or down, centered, some styles, some line spacing. If you want to change line spacing, you can change it here. It's set to 1.0 line spacing. And there is the line for the box. So if you see, I'll change it to, I'll make it go away. I'll make it white. And then when we click out of it, it's like you don't even see it. I'll go ahead and do that one to this one. Got to activate the box. And when you do, see, right now you don't see any editing tool features because the box is not activated. When you do, then whatever you, if that box is activated, you can make some changes to it. You can do it right here. So I also changed the color of the line that goes around the box. So there's a line there, you just can't see it because it's white on white. Okay, and I want to fix this spacing, so I'm going to double click inside. Notice I don't see that text box anymore, but it's there. And then I'll give some more spacing. It does take away from number 12, but you see the box, it flashed. I'll click, grab it, and I'll move it higher to the top. And then I'll grab this and I'll open it up, and it'll make that text kind of roll a bit to Windows, and then I'll move it over. And now I've got a little more room on the bottom. So just for, the box is going to be invisible now, so I don't have to move it down to the edge of the paper. But it's there. And now kind of everything fits the way I want it to. And if I want to add a little more space, number 7, or maybe number 9, hard to tell. We'll take a space out of 11. I think we're okay with that layout. I just click outside of the box to deactivate it. Now if I ever touch in here, it's going to activate. But we're going to, now we're going to save it. But we're going to do, now we're going to publish it. And when we publish it, it is going to turn it into a flat document. And you'll see what I mean by flat when we're finished. So I did File, Published, and then another pop-up says Publish as Flattened. So I highlight, I click on that one, and then this window comes up and got all these options, the check boxes. Basically, they need to all be checked. And then where it says all markups, you've got these radio buttons, these check boxes. So you want the one checkbox to be, this is allow markup recovery or unflatten. So we're deactivating that control box. You won't be able to touch and mess with the text anymore. And because of that, because it's flattened, and that'll become like the form document, like a template that someone will fill out over and over again, handing out blank templates, or you're going to have them printed out and have people write in them. So if you ever want to fix this and change the text box color or add some more spacings or put it on a third page, you do that. Um, you could unflatten the document, and you can do that procedure where you copied and cut and pasted the text onto a third page. So I'll flatten. Then it's already named, okay? And I don't need a second file. I'm just going to save that file that I already had. And also I'll say save. But it says, wait a minute, you already have that file. Yes, I know, but that's the unflattened version, and we're going to save the flattened version. Because the flattened version is what you're going to share with people. If you create a PDF from scratch, you don't want people to be able to manipulate it. It's your document, not theirs. You gave them the form to fill out for a one-time use, but you didn't say, here, take this and put it in your Bluebeam and have pleasure with my work and my time. So you can publish it as flattened. You can even give it a secret code that you only remember, so someone else who wants to get smart and unflatten your document can't even do that, but you can if you want to. Okay, so now that it's flattened, look, I'm clicking all over the document. I can zoom in and out, and I can grab the sheet, move it around, or double click and zoom in and out, but I can't activate the text anymore because it's flattened. It's published now, but this document is now ready to be worked with. It'll be another lesson, which is typing text, but just basically you'd go to Tools, Markup, and these are your markup tools. Anything it has to do with drawing on documents, marking them up, especially construction documents, but also regular PDF. You've got tools here, these two. There's the text box that we were working with, and here's the typewriter. So we were working with text box, but if you wanted to create your own text box, you can. Or you don't want the box, you just want the text, then you can select typewriter. So let's select typewriter, and see, it activates the settings for the typewriter, and over on the left there's the typewriter button and with a pull down menu. So if you wanted to name this and put it on a layer, but see, there's the set as default, so I don't want blue anymore. Now I want to be able to type my answer in black. And that's a brown, isn't it? Black. And I'm okay with the font size, but I want to change the font letter to Times Roman so it reads different. So when I'm typing a document and the color of my text is black, over here has lined as if it had a box around it, but it's not supposed to. So I'm going to leave it black just to see what happens if a box shows up. And then whenever, and it's active now, so if I wanted to start typing, you see it has a cursor with a letter in it, meaning it's typewriter's on. Put it in there, and I can fill it out, put my name. And I can hit enter. And let's just put, you can, I don't really care about your class section. What I care about is the assignment. So there you put there's chapter 7. So you don't even need to put that. But anyway, if you wanted to fill out the section, you can. So you just hit escape. And you can click on them and see now they're in their own little active box. but the lines are hidden. So, and then you can mark, and those are that's one markup. If I want it, now that I have it active, I'm going to go over here and set it as default. So the next time I hit my text, it'll already be set. So I'm going to click this button right here. This is typewriter. And this section of what, 101? Doesn't even matter, but I just put in a piece of text there. You see now it's in its own box. Or I can expand the box, make it larger because I plan on, I can double click inside it and now I can edit the text. And it'll scroll when oh, it's not, but let's double check. Oh, that's the one thing. It's in its own box. I make it wider, but see, I can now edit it, put in an insert where I want it, and I can make it do whatever I want. So this is how you mark up and copy, cut, and paste text, and also publish a document using Bluebeam.